right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our hiatus. It's a Fighting Chance Wrestling podcast. I have Joey and Jay here, and this is episode 7, I believe.
Ooh.
7. We were on a huge hiatus over a month. We had a lot of personal stuff going on. I know if you guys weren't aware, I would bring this up in other episodes. Jay got married. Jay went on his honeymoon too at the same time. Jay
Las
was
Vegas.
gone. He was missing. I actually had to put missing posters up, like the milk carton kind of thing. With
And they
Jay's
found
face
me.
on it.
We found him.
Yeah, we found him. He was just touring the Midwest on his wedding moon, right? Jay, tell us about it. I think this is a good opportunity to share a little bit of our personal life a little bit. So tell me about it. How did it go?
It was great. So we obviously did the Vegas thing, but we ended up traveling to Arizona as well and Utah. Utah is beautiful with the mountains and stuff like that. On my personal YouTube, we actually filmed Utah to put up so people can see. It was a great time. The weather was great. We were worried for the wedding, because it was the middle of the canyon. It was going to be 110 degrees. We had about 80-degree weather, a little cloudy, beautiful. Couldn't ask for anything better.
That's very nice. And I know you guys were really stressed out while planning the whole thing. So
Oh yeah,
now that you've went through, and I've mentioned this to you before because obviously I'm a married man, so is Joey, right? The planning is always the worst, right? Trying to get to that part, but once you're finally there, it was all worth it.
It came together. Yeah,
it came together, and it's all worth it, right? So yeah, I mean, you were having your things. I've had my issues too. I went to New York, spent time with deer, right?
Nice.
It just so happens that my brother got married up there, and I was the best man, so I had to be there. But then also one of our family friends was getting married too, so we stayed put in New York to go to that wedding as well. And then because we're crazy people and we're not comfortable with flying yet, we drove all the way there. Yes, all the way from South Florida, all the way to the northern tip of New York, about 45 minutes away from the Canadian border. So
should have just went.
You know what? I wanted to go,
Yeah.
but Sarah didn't have her passport on her. I don't know if I could go because I didn't have my passport. However, I was told that if you have a Class E license, you can go over, but I don't know if that's true.
Oh, really? I know if you have the real ID, you're able to.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
real
know.
ID.
Not no more.
It's Florida's ID, so who knows if that's even real?
Yeah.
They would have definitely asked for a passport then.
Oh yeah. Well, I had an incident where we were looking for a Starbucks on the way up, and I think the place is called Fort Drum that we were near, and it's a military base, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't know any better at the time. We wanted a Starbucks, so we put it in the GPS, and it made us go into the military base, and like we entered it, and then there was like the military police like at the front of the gate, and they're like, "What's your business?" And I'm like, all I want is coffee, man. And he's like, I'm like, we just put Starbucks in our GPS and it brought it to you. He's like, oh yeah, we would have to get you over a mile that way to get some permits to get on the base and then.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. And he's like, all right, turn around. I'm like, I'm not going through that shit.
Yeah.
McDonald's coffee would have been sufficient.
Yeah, well, when you're up there, there's like nothing up there, right? So it's very hard. I mean, Potsdam, New York is a college town, so there are a few things up there. One thing I do miss though is a Tim Hortons. I don't know what it is, but Tim Hortons is absolutely fucking amazing. So, oh, and sorry, this is not sponsored by Tim Hortons. Okay. Tim, don't sue us. But yeah, no, they're amazing, and I actually miss their coffee and their, you know, because I have health issues. Everyone knows that. I'll indulge a little bit in there. They have the best chocolate munchkins. Holy shit. They call
Really?
them Timbits. Yeah. Amazing.
Chocolate munchkin.
Chocolate munchkins. Yeah. They're like chocolate glazed, right? The
Oh,
softest things you'll ever taste. Like it just melts in your mouth. It's freaking amazing.
I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts now.
Not going Dunkin', go to Tim Hortons. There's actually a Tim Hortons in Westbury.
I was say, do we have one? Yeah, I think we do.
I think there was one in Westbury, unless if it's not there anymore. Anyway, so yeah, and then I've been dealing with some health issues as well. You know, just to put it out there, and then Joey had a wedding too. So everyone's getting married this year.
No. I'm married.
Oh no, I know you're married, but you went to a wedding, right?
I hung out with deer also. I was in the middle of Pennsylvania, like right smack Dover, Pennsylvania, like 10 minutes from Lancaster. So let's put it like this. It was a good wedding. My nephew got married at a barn in a cornfield.
I got married in the desert. Works.
Everybody to each his own, but I
Right.
had a hell of a time. And Sam Adams was my best friend.
Sam Adams. You know, that's one of my favorite beers, Sam Adams. I just can't drink anymore.
Oktoberfest.
For me, it's just your regular, you know, Boston lager. I just like the original. If I were to go, you know, those fancy ones that they do, seasonal ones, I always like the cherry ale.
Cherry wheat.
The cherry wheat, that's it, right. And
I have to know that because I work for a beer company.
I know, yeah, you do. Which is fantastic if you like to drink. So, but you don't come off as an alcoholic, so I don't think so. Hey, you don't. You look normal. You're functional. I mean, unless
You're
if
functional. Hey,
I'm functional. I'm functional. All right, we'll see about that.
All right, so yeah, so to get that out of the way, we've been on a hiatus, but we're back. We're not done. Yeah, with that being said, we have a lot of content that we're going to be creating in the future, and we're going to come in a lot stronger, more knowledge, and hopefully newer segments. So yeah, that's what we're promising now. Other than that, I think we can talk about what's going on with wrestling, because this is a wrestling podcast, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It is.
I hope,
Yeah?
yeah, I hope so.
All right. So I ain't gonna lie, you know, having, you know, with all the crap that's been going
hard,
on,
yeah.
it's been a little hard to catch up with everything. However, I did catch some of the wrestling programs that were out. I did catch oh, and by the way, for the listeners, I always try to wear a wrestling shirt when I do this, and Brody Lee, right? And the interesting about that is, for whatever reason, last time I had a dream about Brody Lee.
Really?
Yeah, it was just weird. It was just him fighting down a ramp. And I don't know why. And he wasn't even in the Brody Lee gimmick.
Yeah.
It is the WWE gimmick. Shoot. Why am I forgetting the name? What was his name in WWE? Why am I blanking? Because now I'm so used to calling him Brody. Because of his AEW stint and everything else.
That beats me up.
Oh, Luke Harper. Yeah. His Luke Harper gimmick, and I don't know, it was just freaking weird. Unless if it wasn't a dream, and right before bed I was watching like a YouTube thing or something. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure it was a freaking dream.
Something happened.
Something happened, and then I went into the closet this morning. And I'm like, holy shit, Brody Lee. All right, I'm gonna put it on.
It was a sign, yeah.
It was like a sign, right? So, yeah, so I was able to catch that whole Clash at the Castle, Cardiff. I don't know if you guys were able to watch that.
I watched the whole thing. I think it was great.
I loved it.
It was interesting. I liked some of it.
I did like it. But yeah, let's talk about some news. Anyone hear anything about the news as far as what's going on? I keep hearing more stories about Bray Wyatt.
So
You know,
that's why I wanted to talk about the whole White Rabbit thing. I mean, who else would this be for? Who
you know
else would they
what? I
put the
have
hype
no
for?
idea, but a lot of people are saying, there's a lot of these cryptic, like, I guess Easter eggs, right?
In the
That
yeah, speaking of one in the Extreme Rules for what's his name, Riddle versus Rollins. I know one of the Easter eggs is you could see in the background there's a lantern and fireflies around. I think that's the only one that has that.
Oh, then that's definitely has to be Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
Well,
Because
then
who else
that's
would
like
that
kind of
be?
a giveaway.
that's one of them. Yeah, that people keep pointing out, and you do see it. If
So
we'll
if
find,
they
we'll put
have
the graphic
fireflies and
together.
a lantern, do you think that he's if he comes back? Because I'm hearing mixed things. I'm hearing there's like contract disputes or some type of dispute, and they're they can't see like um they're not there with negotiations yet. But yet they keep teasing it. So I don't know if they're hiding it very well,
Yeah,
right?
Maybe
And
they're
just
hiding
playing
it.
with the audience, right?
Maybe they're hiding it, or what they're doing is they're filling out a contract so that they know that they want to sign him. It's just a matter of, hey, listen, X amount of stuff, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. But they know that it's just a battle. It's tit for tat.
and he's asking for big money, and rightfully so.
He should get it.
Well, I mean, dude, he's sold more merchandise than anyone in recent, other than John Cena, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
he's been the highest merch seller when he was there. He was the one that had he was the most over out of anybody, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think I've seen it. He actually doubled the amount of money than the person that was under him. I don't know. I'll try to get it, but it was almost like double the amount of sales.
right, right.
And they
And
could keep this, I'm sorry, Cliff.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm saying they could keep this tease going for a while because I can't see them bringing back if it is Wyatt at Extreme Rules. You know what I mean? It's not a main pay-per-view. Some people are saying maybe a crown jewel if, I would wait till like Royal Rumble or something. Keep teasing it. Just keep it going. If it is him, which I don't know. I think it is. Who else would have this much of a build?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're doing it. They're going to introduce him at a smaller event like that. That way, they make it a bigger thing. Like a kind of underdog. Why would you bring it out at hypothetically WrestleMania? You know what I'm saying? Bring it out so that it stands out more.
I think they want that pop. They want that Royal Rumble, that WrestleMania pop.
They want
Like
that CM Punk type pop,
yeah,
like when he
yeah,
came back in AEW, they want that. And
yeah.
I think they're gonna really like be strategic with this one and
There's
really
no rush to bring him back.
no,
There's no rush.
I
no.
don't think
Because even if even his fiend persona, it
Mhm.
really is a novelty act, if you think
Yeah,
about it. Because if you keep continue, because you continue to use that, and that's why it was good that he had the split personality kind of thing.
yeah,
It's kind of like Finn Balor's demon, right? When it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
out, it's a novelty thing. You know, I think that's what they're gonna do with it. And but that also begs the question too, since they, are hinting at the fireflies and the lantern, do you think he's going to come back as the Fiend, or do you think he's going to come back as his old persona, like, his old like cult leader persona, um, you know, rather than
Yeah.
the Fiend, dual personality Fiend persona? Like, I wonder if they're going to bring that back, because WWE always likes to do that. They like to always like go back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you said about a dual personality, then a co kind of thing. I think that maybe this is just your cousin Joey kind of thing. Maybe they'll form some type of group like with Roman Reigns and make it like one maybe big match where all of them go together and they compete. They all wrestle.
Well, I honestly think that, you know, you pointed that out actually with Roman Reigns is if you remember, it was during that what was it? Bray Wyatt was facing, was it Braun Strowman?
Yes, Roman.
And then Roman came out and speared them all. That's when Roman came out for the first time after being away, right? And then that's how he became his, like, you know, tribal chief and
Yeah.
started dominating everybody. You know, there's a little bit of a story there. There's payback, you know, and what better opponent to come in and just, you know, completely destroy
Oh
the,
yeah.
yeah, the
Well, let's see. You know
Roman
what?
Reigns, yeah.
Crazy. We could have maybe the fans on our Instagram let us know the answers to that. Maybe what they think.
What was that?
I said maybe some of our viewers can post it on our Instagram and think of, idea of what they think of the whole situation.
Yeah, or post it in our comments on our YouTube or, you know, on our video here.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, they could let us know what they think.
I could see like Roman Reigns standing in the middle of the ring at like Royal Rumble, and then all of a sudden the lights go out, and the Fiend just appears and just destroys him or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and people lose their mind, including me.
Well, yeah. I would lose my mind when he comes back because I was always a fan of Bray Wyatt. And
He was pretty good.
most creative wrestler in our time, like in
Yeah.
in the most recent times. I can't think of anyone else that's been as creative as him. You know,
I do.
who?
And not, well, our time a little. The Undertaker. You don't think so?
I think the Undertaker was given his, see, the difference between Undertaker and Bray, which I'm going to give Bray a little bit more credit for, is Undertaker was given that gimmick by Vince.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt created his gimmick on his own. So there's a little bit of a difference there, even though, and I'm not
Both creative but different.
both creative. It's just kind of like at that time, you have to understand also the time too. I think there's a little bit more, I wouldn't say pressure, but I mean, back then it was, you know, Vince McMahon had a lot more say, and people just wanted to get a job, right? It was hard at those times. So, you know, if you look at Undertaker's interviews, he's like, you know, Vince called him and said, "Hey, is this the Undertaker?" You know, because they had that concept already. And then he took the call and he just took it, right? But, you know, Taker got the opportunity and rolled with it, and he took the ball and rolled with it, and he did very well. Where I give him credit is because the Undertaker, if it was done by anyone, would have been a stale character and probably just died off really quickly. The person, him being creative in this sense, is that he was able to adapt and change throughout all of the decades or the eras that they had.
That type of stuff.
And even taking that name and turning it into the biker gimmick, right?
Yeah.
The badass gimmick, and then going back to the dead man gimmick. It's just you know, that's a testament to, like, you know, what kind of person and like what kind of wrestler he was. And I think he was very creative in that aspect. But Bray Wyatt, his whole thing was created by him. That was all of his brainchild. And it was cool to see that they gave him the ability to do that. And I think that, like, wrestlers now, like the newer wrestlers, kind of have to develop their own gimmick now, right?
It's too much competition.
It's too much competition. There's a lot of wrestlers. Like, you can't make a character for everybody, right? Like, you can't be on. So that I think they give the wrestlers the ability to create their own gimmick. And and then also, you know, we're seeing again more Triple H's, you know, going off to the next thing.
I seen
Triple H's influences a lot.
I read a small little piece about how I don't know where they came up with this type of term that Triple H was going to give new wrestlers, when they draft them and they pick them out, 2 years to change their act and get accustomed to what Triple H and the new organization likes. I don't know why they would pick 2 years. I thought it would be shorter time, but that was the cap of 2 years. I don't know.
I
It
don't
gives
know.
them time. I mean, yeah.
Look, I
I mean,
mean, things were set a certain way with Vince there. And now that the company is going through a change, people need to get acclimated. I don't think they need that much time. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. But I think everything is overall the same. I don't think that much has changed all that much. You know what I mean?
Even though Triple H has been in power or in charge lesser time, do you think it's at different times, but you gotta put it in the same scenario? Do you think that it's easier to get Triple H's approval or Vince McMahon's approval for a wrestler or a team?
I think it depends. It's like what Triple H said. Is like he said in his interview, it's like chocolate or vanilla, right? Like it really depends on what it is, and he's going to tell you. I think, and you also have to understand, he was under Vince's umbrella, so there's a lot of influence there too, right? I don't think one is going to be easier than the other. I think it just depends on the scenario and what that thing is. It's like, I think Triple H might be a little bit more open-minded because he knows trends and he's younger and like that's why he's always into like he always brought in the smaller guys and Shawn Michaels type wrestlers rather than the big King Kong Bundy type wrestlers. You know what I mean?
You actually just beat a point that I wanted to make, that we all know that he hired Shawn Michaels for part of it. They are in real life best friends. We all know that. But it's all of the same generation, how, everybody sees it. It's not like just McMahon's kind of way in the highway. He's broadcasting. He's making a cabinet to say, hey, listen.
I think that what Triple H was open to, Vince never was. Because I don't think Vince was very keen or really cared for any wrestlers that worked on the independents or made a name on the independents, right? And Triple H.
Wouldn't that be more selfishness?
I just think that Vince was set in his own ways. He always liked grooming his idea of a sports entertainer, not a wrestler. Remember, to the way that he wants to groom them. Like John Cena was the perfect example. Someone who didn't work on the independents, went straight to Ohio Valley Wrestling, trained there and learned the ropes through a WWE developmental, and then made his way up. And that's like the Ortons, the Batistas and stuff like that, and people who just were groomed by the system. But never really made a name like in the independents, like a Daniel Bryan, like a CM Punk. But I think Triple H was more open to that, and because these wrestlers are so good. Like, where else are they going to work at the time? Because remember, AEW wasn't around, right? Independent wrestling wasn't as big as it is now. Like, people left WWE to go to independents. That's how big independents were getting. And I think a part of that has to do with AEW.
It does.
I think AEW really helped cement hey, you know what? WWE is not the only place you can work. Like, you can make money and work other places. Cody Rhodes did that.
He did.
He is a prime example.
I know we talk about, updated, news and that type of stuff, but I always refer back to the old stuff, WCW and WWE. There was a time where did you want to put your television? You wanted to put it in WWE, or did you want to put it as WCW? And look at Eric Bischoff when he first signed Hulk Hogan. I'm sure everybody freaked out and went to WCW because they wanted Hogan to watch.
Well, everyone went to WCW. Well, first of all, and you're talking about a totally different time because back then there was no guaranteed contracts under Vince.
Exactly.
And then when Eric Bischoff came out and saw that he had all of Ted Turner's checkbook to play with,
Yeah.
Yes, he
he
did.
goes, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sign this," and was guaranteeing contracts. That's why Kevin Nash, Scott Hall left.
Yep.
Which I have to mention that Kevin Nash's new podcast. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. He has a new podcast with Sean Oliver, who I used to follow. He used to do like kayfabe commentaries.
Excuse me, I'm writing.
Yeah. So it's called Click This.
Click this.
Yeah, like the click, like they're.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's called Click This, and with Kevin Nash, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. His take on a lot of things. I watched the whole episode of him talking about Scott Hall. It was the first. It's relatively new, and Scott Hall's passing. Really interesting stuff, man. You guys got to check it out.
I gotta check that out. They were really close friends, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
They still are. They still are. The click is still strong. They're still friends. Him, Sean, Scott Hall were friends. Triple H, and then also X-Pac. They were all friends, and they still are. But it was unfortunate when Scott Hall passed away.
Yeah.
But he had his demons. Everyone knows he struggled hard. But with that being said, what were we talking about before Kevin Nash? Oh yeah, that's why Kevin Nash went over. Yeah, but that's wrestling. You're gonna go where they're gonna pay you. And Vince McMahon can't pay, and obviously, Vince McMahon was big in the Northeast, but WCW being owned by Turner and Ted Turner, that guy had way more money than Vince, which goes to show you that just because you have a big checkbook, Tony Khan. Did I lose you guys? Guys, I think my internet is acting up, but that's what happens when you're dealing with Comcast and fuckers.
It's because he's not in New York.
This video is not sponsored by Comcast because they suck.
Probably never will.
You made a good point about Turner, where Bischoff did have an open checkbook. It is true. I mean, like you said, Turner owned the Braves at one time, so there was no really a cutoff. He owned everything.
He doesn't own the Braves anymore. I think he still does.
No, I don't think he owns the majority of it.
Oh no? Screw it. Who cares? It's the freaking Braves. I'm a Mets fan. I don't like the Braves.
I'm a Mets fan too, so I don't really care about the Jones.
I'm still waiting for because now it's only about 8-9 games away up until the end of the season, and we're only one game in front, a game and a half in front of the Braves to win first place. So I'm like,
just to be funny, is this a MLB podcast, or is this a WWE?
Oh, this is Mr. Joey is so funny.
Cousin Joey.
Cousin Joey.
Like the first podcast.
You know what? I'm sharing my personal stuff, my interests here. That we can do that.
Cliff, a little bit better.
Wait till the guitars go up on the back wall. Jay's, changing backgrounds.
Jay's forever on the run. I'm forever on the run.
I would like to hang all that stuff up at some point. It's gonna look pretty neat back there because I'm gonna have a couple of my wrestling pictures up there too, that I got, like my autograph CM Punk, framed, autograph CM Punk, autographed Tommy Dreamer, and it's a pretty graphic.
Just to throw in a.
What's
that?
up?
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Just to let everybody know, even though I didn't get a chance to go or whatever. Bret Hart was in Hicksville yesterday with
Oh,
the
was
Dudley Boys. Yeah, he was signing autographs. Apparently, there was supposed to be some type of small little wrestling thing where they were just supposed to have.
Oh
a
wait,
couple
he's doing like the Heart Attack tour or something.
Yeah.
Right? The poor choice of words, man.
Yeah, right.
He's old, man. He's up there.
He's old.
Yeah.
His wife is like 3 years younger than him.
Oh, good for him.
No, he looks old, man. He looks. There's not a colored hair on his head. It's all gray.
I feel bad because his career ended short because of Mr. Goldberg. Goldberg.
I don't know. I just the same thing with Vince. I think that he got the best out of Hart, and he did it to what's her name, Naomi or whatever her name is there. I forgot. I'm going blank.
Goldberg. Goldberg. Oh God, the most overrated wrestler ever.
Hey.
Hey.
173-0.
So I want to mention, if we could go to the next topic, if you guys are ready, because I want to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about.
no, I'm ready. I'm done talking about my personal life.
Which is pretty major. Paige going to
yeah.
AEW.
Oh right.
What a missed opportunity for WWE. And I know what I was reading. When WWE reached out to her, she was already signed by AEW. She didn't even negotiate again.
Oh well, that's Triple H's.
But that would have been. That's missed. That's a missed opportunity.
I'm at this point with Paige that I don't really think I care anymore.
Like I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype, but she has the hype. You know what I mean? Like I was never her biggest fan, but to me that was big.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but I'm just I guess I'm so used to seeing her off TV that it just she lost her kind of her aura.
Yeah.
Right? And she was good, but I don't know. There's so many women that are coming up in wrestling now that are just like it's a good thing, right? And
maybe, like I said, maybe they'll start their own show.
I don't know,
well, we had our own podcast about wrestlers.
AEW kind of sucks with their women's division. I mean, they haven't really done anything with it.
Yeah.
They'll bring her in and then what? Wasted talent. They'll still have the dentist be their champion.
Britt Baker.
Yeah, Britt Baker. DMD. All right, you're a dentist. They used to have a garbage man in WWE in the beginning. I mean,
yep.
I think Isaac Yankem was a dentist. It was been done.
Yeah.
It turned into something good.
What did Isaac Yankem was the most horrible gimmick ever.
Well, obviously it didn't work out for Isaac, but it worked out for Mr. Mayor.
What was the chicken? What was the what was the chicken's name? Gobbly something or other.
Yeah. Goobler, Gobbler, something. Gobbler, Goobler.
Yeah, the Gobbly Goobler or something like that.
That's who should be champion right now. That's who we need back.
Cliff is on the computer ready. He's got the answer.
That's my pick to take out Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
It's called the Gobbledy Gooker.
Yeah.
Who came up with that?
That's a terrible freaking name. What even is that?
Yet we remember it.
It was the chicken that came out of the egg in WWE.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Oh
no.
Anyway, did anybody see anything on Sami Zayn? I think I'm pronouncing his name.
Name right? Sami Zayn. He became an honorary Uce.
I love it.
I love it too. They got a shirt on it and everything. You know how many shirts they're gonna sell now because of that?
Oh yeah,
tons.
Because everyone wants to be an honorary Uce.
Did you see? Do you think that the interview whole situation was it was acted out, or you think it was really true? How he lost his mind and everything.
Who?
James, they had an interview, and he freaked out. Apparently, some cameraman or something like that banged into him, and he lost his mind.
I didn't hear about this.
I didn't hear about
Yeah.
that, but please share.
Yeah, I don't remember. He freaked out. This is what I seen in the sports media, the one that I see it in all the time. And I don't know if it was part of the act or it was real. Apparently, somebody banged into him, and they're not sure if it was part of it, and he lost his mind. He freaked out.
Like on TV live, he lost it?
Yeah, it doesn't say whether it was live or whatever it was, but it was an interview, and he freaked out. He nearly beat up a couple of people.
Sami Zayn?
Yeah, I mean, it could be from,
Clips
you know,
from the case.
something
I can't
But
find anything on it.
Are we sharing false news?
You are fake news.
About the drama going on in AEW, CM Punk might be bought out of his contract.
Oh yeah, that whole thing. Oh my God, it's so
Want
stupid.
to talk about that? What do you guys think?
First of all, CM Punk is the type of person who speaks his mind and whenever the fuck he wants. But at the same time, I'm not sure if it was the right thing to go out there and say that during, you know, the media scrum, as like
Yeah.
call it. But it was with your boss right next to you too. Like, I don't know, there's got to be a level of professionalism. You would never see that happen in WWE.
No.
WWE would just nip that right in the butt before it even happens. Like, can't.
Yeah.
That would never happen. It's like freaking high school. And they're like, you know, that's the shit that you do in high school, you know? Like, oh, I'm going to meet him in his locker and I'm going to beat him up there. You know?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
maybe that's what they wanted to perceive. But yeah, that's child stuff. But you know what?
However, I do respect Kenny Omega, and here's why. Ready? There was reports that Kenny Omega, when he was in the scuffle, was trying to protect CM Punk's dog, and was trying to remove what?
The dog?
He was trying to protect CM Punk's dog. Mind you, Kenny Omega was blasted by CM Punk. Like CM Punk, said shit about him, said shit about the Bucks, the Young Bucks. And that's how the scuffle happened. So Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks actually met him backstage, I guess in his locker room, barged in. And CM Punk was with Ace Steel, which is his friend, right? I'm not sure what Ace Steel does. I actually never even heard of Ace Steel up until this point. Like I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
You sure you didn't make it up?
Who, me? Nah,
Yeah,
I'm not cousin Joey with the fake news.
Fake news.
I don't know. You know what? Scuffle. Hold on. Let me grab the dog.
Yeah, but he went in and obviously the dog was going crazy because it was hectic, you know. It got hectic, and Kenny Omega was trying to save the dog, which I respect.
Maybe the dog now it'll be sort of like an entrance, you know.
No, but instead of being praised, instead of like, you know, being like, oh, thank you, you saved my dog. No, Ace Steel, I think, bit him in the arm.
Or maybe the dog will be wrestling now too, you know. We'll have downs with dogs.
No, that scuffle was the dumbest thing I ever heard. And it just shows the how unorganized, dude, WCW 2.0.
Yeah.
That's
what was the dog doing there anyway?
What was the dog doing there anyway?
Yeah, like
Mr. Phil likes to bring Phil is CM Punk's real name. And he probably would hate me for saying that. Like, who the fuck is this Mark? Don't call me by my first name.
what are we in our 60s where we got to travel with our pets?
Well, he doesn't have kids, so his dog is his kids. I get it. I've done it. Emotional support animals. I would do it.
Jay, you travel with your cats?
He's right here. No, I'm kidding. He's not right here.
Cats are a little different. Cats are a little bit more independent, so you can kind of leave them and do their thing. Dogs on the other hand, they're kind of dumb. So you kind of have to have.
I've had dogs all my life. You know what? It's like comparing apples to oranges. Like they say in the Greek wedding. What is it? Together they're all fruit.
Another cousin Joey-ism.
Can we have that go across the screen?
Yeah.
That quote.
Joey. Yeah, it's gonna have like I don't know.
I'm excited to see the editing now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. What I'm surprised is that we're getting through this and we haven't seen your ghost, Jay.
The ghost is getting stuff for the game today, but the ghost will come in and bring me lunch in a little bit though.
Okay. Alrighty.
You might just see a hand instead of the full ghost though.
So on to the next. Well, yeah. Did we finish this topic?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I think
it was pretty dumb. It was a big deal though, because actually I heard that and I don't know if it's true, maybe it's bullshit, who knows. But the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega put in feels for WWE because they were so pissed off about how everything happened, but I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
I actually think all those wrestlers are playing Tony Khan, to be honest with you. They're conning him.
Oh boy, maybe they'll give him a new name.
Dad jokes.
I did.
MJF has been freaking amazing though. I love his promos. He's the best guy on the mic. You know, no one can touch him on the mic other than Paul Heyman. What does that say? Like
a lot.
Yeah, it does. I don't think anyone could touch him.
And where will he go in 2024? I think that's great that he's playing. He'll end up wherever he wants.
I honestly think he's staying in AEW.
Maybe.
I think this is all part of his gimmick. It's probably a work.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a work shoot, in my opinion. Like, I think what he's saying is probably true. But at the same time, I think Tony Khan's gonna realize that, the guy's gold.
Yeah. I know he got a raise, so now he's getting a guaranteed $1 million now.
Yeah, he got a raise, but he didn't extend the contract.
Yeah.
Not an extension.
Yeah. Which is smart, right?
Yeah.
Play it out.
Dude, I mean, keep them happy. You got to keep your players happy. Otherwise, they're going to, like any sport, man. You got to keep them happy. Otherwise, they're going.
I heard Triple H and Stephanie give themselves a raise, too.
I saw that, yeah.
What was it, 200,000 a piece, Jay? Something like that, 200,000 a piece?
Yeah, they raise their salaries for their position and then also for their on-air talent,
Yeah, that's their taxes. Anyway, what do we get to another point?
Yeah, but you know what? They have a lot more responsibilities now.
Yeah.
And Papa Bear wasn't giving them probably much more, because they probably didn't have. Well, Triple H's roles decreased when he was there, and like he pretty much took him out of everything, especially after surgery and whatnot.
I go back to that question: what if?
What if what? He wasn't married?
Yep.
Yeah, but it's neither here or there because they are. You can't say what. I mean, I guess you can, but you can make that argument. But it's kind of.
That'd be a good Cousin Joey topic.
It's a silly argument though, because it's like, all right, well, they're not. I mean, they are married, and I don't think that. I mean, you can make the argument if they get a divorce in the future, what would happen? What would happen?
You said it, not me. You said it, not me.
I don't think so, because I think their marriage is pretty strong.
Oh, I think it is very strong too.
Yeah, I think they genuinely really do love each other. It's not a Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon situation.
Well, no, I don't think so.
No, it's not.
I think Vince McMahon is slowly starting to, disappear out of even, you could see acting. Like we used last time we had a podcast about the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns thing. Vince McMahon definitely had a say in something like that. I think he's slowly coming down where he just doesn't want to be a part of it. He'll watch it on TV like a regular fan.
But I read a rumor And I don't know how true it is that Stephanie wants to induct him in the 2023 Hall of Fame.
I heard that.
Vince?
Yeah. She wants to induct her
2023?
father. Yeah.
But you can't
Shoot, I
induct.
would induct him in 2025. Let it clear out of people's heads. It's too fresh. Even
Yeah.
2023 is too fresh.
Yeah.
That's way too fresh.
That's the, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. But
Oh, that should be taken. Well, I don't, because you don't. Things don't surprise me anymore.
yeah.
Like WWE. If that were to happen, I'd be like, oh shit, okay, that would not surprise me. But
Right.
I think that's too fucking soon.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you can induct Vince into the Hall of Fame because he's like owner. He modernized. He did everything. So it's kind of like, you're inducting the person who invented hockey, or baseball. It's them.
Maybe
they're
the
at top.
character they're focusing on, the Vince McMahon character.
What the wise ass kind of personality.
Induct, the character of Vince McMahon into the Hall of Fame. And like, what would be better than LA?
Still too soon.
Well,
Still
Connecticut.
too soon. Still way too soon.
All right. Well, we'll
Like
have
you
to.
said, it wouldn't surprise me, Cliff.
It wouldn't.
I don't care either way.
And if it's in, like I said, LA, that
And
would
that's
be
the thing. Most people probably wouldn't. That's the funny thing. Like most
Yeah.
wrestling fans would be like, "Oh yeah, he deserves it."
Yeah.
He
I don't
just
think he
took
can.
advantage of a couple.
Well, people
and
could
that's fine.
people could comment, does he deserve it, or do they wait, or do they not do it?
I don't think they should do it yet. I think it's too soon. In my
Yeah.
opinion. That's my opinion. It's too soon. I mean, those poor women, what are they gonna think? Like they just got, he just got
Yeah.
outed. And this is kind of a closure for them, as much closure as they're gonna get. Being put in that position. And then it goes, and then it's also a bad message out there, right? It's a bad message because it's like, well, this guy did a horrible thing. He had to be forced to retire. He did a horrible thing, and now he's being inducted. Like they're glorifying him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think it's too soon. I think it needs to let the dust settle kind of thing, and then do it. But I think it'd be like 2 years from now, so it's like not fresh in people's minds anymore.
What about maybe 20?
Huh?
Maybe about 20 years.
25. Not 25 years, but 2025.
Oh no, I meant 20 years. Who cares?
2025.
Really
I
wouldn't
guess
care.
we'll see, right? We'll see.
As long it should be as long as Paige was out of the ring, because I forgot about her already. And then when she came back, I'm like, oh, she's back. All right.
Well, you're gonna have to do a lot of editing in this podcast.
No editing. We leave this shit in. This is the gold stuff. This is the stuff that people love.
I'm gonna check this out as soon as we're done. Kevin Nash, click this. I gotta check this.
Yeah, check it out, man. It's good.
I'm a big Kevin Nash / Diesel fan.
Yeah. Well, he was a good. He was good. He wasn't my favorite Click member, but I always find him interesting.
Anyway,
I think Triple H is probably my favorite Click member. Yeah. And Scott Hall. But I think Triple H was my favorite, only because I think it was really cool that he didn't have to do drugs, smoke, or anything like that to have fun and be part of a cool group like that. So
yeah.
That sends a good message, I think.
Well, let's all it's Cliff spoke, so we'll leave it at that. Cliff. Good job, Cliff.
Well, thank you. I put this all together.
So next topic.
All right, yeah. Next topic. What do we got? Things that
I want to talk about Crown Jewel, the main event. What do we feel about Logan Paul getting his chance against Roman Reigns?
anything for publicity and money. Obviously, it's supposed to be a spectacle, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Good call, Cliff.
We know who's gonna win.
I'm telling you, The Rock is gonna beat Roman Reigns.
Let's
at
talk about The Rock
WrestleMania.
yet.
We're not talking about The Rock. I know he's not. I know he's not.
I
No, he's not.
understand that, but yes, it is.
Joey, fake news.
I'm
And then every time he says something, just have it
telling
across the screen. Fake
Fake news.
I'm telling you, they're gonna make The Rock beat
I'm
Roman
gonna have
Reigns.
a picture of Donald Trump next to him saying "fake news."
Do it. Please.
First of all, with Logan Paul, let's talk about Logan Paul first, because I know
Then we'll get to The Rock. I promise.
he's biting his tongue right now. He's like I want to talk about The Rock.
And we're gonna get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Logan Paul, we know who's gonna win. It's the same situation as any. Logan Paul's not a full timer.
Yeah.
He's a part timer. He's there for again as a
Problem.
Yeah, he's just there to he's a celebrity, right? So
Yeah.
he has his like obligations and whatnot. Unless if they're throwing us a curveball, which I don't think they are. It's kind of predictable.
That would be a major curveball.
Yeah. I
you know
don't
what?
think. However,
Yeah. Wait.
Austin Aries, not Aries, Jesus Christ, Austin Theory is still Money in the Bank holder or whatever you want to call him, right?
I don't like that. However,
I wonder if he'll make a cash in that day.
I hope you put like a subtitle. I wonder.
They do want a belt on. They want a belt on one of the Raw talents.
Yeah. And they keep arguing about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Austin Theory could potentially get one of the titles, because what's a better way to protect Roman is by that cash in.
Yeah.
Because then it's like an asterisk win, right? Especially if there's outside interference, Bray Wyatt possibly, coming in, destroying Roman Reigns, leaving him open to be pinned, and then Austin Theory comes in and
Comes out. Yeah.
Let's see.
Takes the Raw title, and then he's just going to be a placeholder for someone else big to take him.
3 days.
What, placeholder? A month. Next pay-per-view, drop it to someone like worthy, like who's worthy on Raw right now.
I just think that Roman Reigns is obviously at the top of his game. I think he's far past anybody who was ever popular at their own present time. Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, even Triple H or John Cena. I think he's in a different category of being so popular in such a peak in his career.
I disagree.
That's why
I only disagree. I disagree because I don't think that anyone's hit that mark yet as far as Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan. Maybe I don't even John Cena.
Maybe. I mean, I don't even think The Undertaker was that high up. I just think that The Undertaker didn't have a career go up. It was just steady for so long. And that's why they had seen it as The Undertaker, the Phenom. But I don't know. I mean, I disagree with you. Let's see if we can break the tiebreaker. Hello? Are you still there, Jay?
I think he's on a different level, Roman Reigns, but I don't know if he's reached that Hulk Hogan level. I don't know, but it was also a different time as well. So it's hard to.
Well, you're supposed to be an expert in wrestling. That's why we're having a podcast.
So I want to reference actually one of the podcasts, the Kevin Nash podcast. If I'm not mistaken, he said that Austin was selling merch where it equaled out to like what all three of them were getting paid. Like if you took all of what Austin made, if I understood it correctly, if you took all of what Austin made on his merch is what Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall made, just like, you know, their salaries.
I think that personally,
Together.
that's if Stone Cold's career didn't go bad because of, you know,
His neck.
physical, I believe that he made such a popularity in a short amount of time of, I know this is, you know, we got to keep it childproof, of a badass. It just, I don't know. I mean, who could ever come close to being so popular in a short amount of time? I use it again, The Rock, maybe John Cena or Roman Reigns. I don't think it's possible. I mean, when you came to Raw, you came to a show, you wanted to hear that glass crack.
Well, you can make an argument that there's been a few. I don't know. John Cena has been one of them. I think John Cena is probably the closest thing to Hulk Hogan level.
That's what I mean.
He's been compared to Hulk Hogan, you know, like the modern era Hulk Hogan. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think that John Cena is probably the closest one to Hulk Hogan level. I don't know. There's a lot of wrestlers that have been on a different level. Like Randy Orton's been on a different level for years now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Right now, Roman Reigns, no one can touch him. No one. Except for Brock Lesnar.
Well, my cousin Joey is thinking.
You know what? Podcast is finished. I was so happy we didn't have to do that. Him and the other dingbat there. What's her name? Ronda Rousey.
Oh, his two favorites.
Relax over there.
Yeah, I know. Relax. All right. So also another thing I wanted to touch on is going for the Logan Paul, and I know that you want to talk about The Rock. Everybody wants to talk about The Rock. Rock's gonna lose, and here's why. He can't commit. He can't commit. He can't commit to being a champion on, and the networks are not going to allow it. This is just supposed to be kind of like Hulk Hogan and The Rock when they faced an icon versus icon match. You know, for a big show, big money to draw money. That's pretty much.
Why would you want to be committed to if you're making $800 million in LA?
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him at all. He did the smartest thing. He got away from wrestling that, you know, as we've seen with all these wrestlers, wrestling, there's no longevity in wrestling. Like look at Hulk Hogan. The guy lost like 4 inches because he had to get back surgeries, hip surgeries, and all these types of surgeries.
Yeah.
The guy's fucked.
This is like football.
Yeah, yeah. And probably worse because they do it, you know, 300 days a year. You know, football players only play 16 weeks and then they practice, right?
Yeah. And then they bang heads.
Wrestlers freaking go, you know, full force for 300 days, especially WWE. You know, you're practically on the road all year long. And doing all your shows. So it's a physically demanding job. Now, Rock did the smart thing. He saw potential in Hollywood. Guess what? I'm going to go to Hollywood. I'm going to make millions of dollars, and I'm going to look the best that I ever have. Now, he looks better now than he did when he was wrestling. Guy's jacked out of his mind.
Yeah, but they still all, you know, you don't grow that fast in a small amount of time. But I still love The Rock.
Oh, so you're accusing him of steroids?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said it not directly. You said it.
whatever. The guy looks great. I wish I could look like that, but that's not here nor there. So
Well, let's just say I don't think it's gonna be for the title, Reigns versus The Rock. But when we do have that match, do we have The Rock win or do we have Reigns pin The Rock?
I told you.
Like, man.
It's going to be a passing the torch match. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
It's okay. So you're my cousin. I'm older than you. And I was on top for a long time. Still kind of am because The Rock is, The Rock. And I think it's like, okay, you're my cousin. I'm passing the torch to you. It's your turn. And I think that Roman Reigns will end up winning.
I have a question and sort of a point. When is this supposed to really happen? Is it supposed to really happen at WrestleMania, or is it just food for thought?
That's what they're shooting for. That they're shooting for WrestleMania.
That's the rumor. Yeah, they have to work on like The Rock's schedule and to see if he.
So then I believe what we should do, well, everybody should keep an eye on The Rock's career right now. Is he about to start making a show, a movie? And
well, he's coming out with a new movie. He's coming out. He's doing the Black Adam movie, which is a DC comic movie.
Okay, when is it supposed to come out?
Pretty soon, actually. I think it's here. Let me look. Hold on one sec.
From what I last read, as of right now, The Rock's schedule is open for WrestleMania season.
See what I mean, Jay?
Oh, that's what I read.
It's coming out right now. It's coming out in October.
If he's not having anything planned or an event or making a movie, he's going to win.
Yeah, but
October 21st.
October 21st. When's WrestleMania? When's that one?
Oh, WrestleMania is usually in April, no?
Yeah, it's going to be in April this year.
Okay, so he has from October all the way to March, if I'm not correctly, the month before, to make something. If he doesn't make anything, we don't hear no noise or no events or anything, we know he's going to win.
April 1st and April 2nd.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
He's not going to win because he can't commit. He's not going to commit.
Thank you very much. I will say a prayer before I go to bed tonight. We don't hear nothing between October and
April. Wait, whoa. You're not leaving just yet because we need a Joey's 2 cents. But before we do that, I just very quickly want to touch on this topic. I'm going to put it out there. The most underrated wrestler
ever.
Could do modern time.
Modern times. Let's do modern times. Modern times. Most underrated wrestler. Modern times.
I don't know if it's the most, but I think someone that I think the three of us could agree on is Cesaro.
Cesaro.
I would give it to Cesaro. I think he had a lot of potential. And he's an amazing wrestler, his strength, and I just don't think he ever reached that next level. And it's a little upsetting because I think he could have.
That's a good one, man. That's a really good one. No, that's a really good one. And you know what? I'm glad that he's over at AEW, Ring of Honor, whatever you want to call it now.
Yeah.
It's all under the same umbrella. But I think he's getting the opportunities that he was looking for. And he might just be a happier person now that he's there. It would be nice to see him back in WWE. But I do agree with that. I thought, I think the reason why he was so underrated in WWE is because Vince McMahon never gave him the opportunity, because I think it had to do with his, being foreign kind of thing, like not relating to the crowd, even though I think he related. I think he did. Yeah. I think he did with the crowd. But that was a Vince McMahon thing. I think if it was Triple H now, and he was there, I think it would be different. I think he would give him a shot. But because Triple H loves that hard-hitting style. And going back to Cardiff, my favorite match at the Cardiff Clash of the Castle was Sheamus versus the Walter. That was amazing. I love that European hard-hitting. It's like European strong style, right? They just go at it. There's a realism there, And I think Cesaro would have fit in perfectly in that type of style of wrestling and what they're bringing in now. So I think that's something that I enjoy. But yeah, that's a good one.
What about you, Chris?
Well, I was going to ask you first.
Oh,
I saved the best for last, so.
oh.
I
I would have to say maybe present, even though I do more past. Maybe Drew McIntyre
And why is that?
or Lashley, because I think that even though they're popular, I think they could have still potential as high as Roman Reigns. I mean, like you had said the last time, look at Lashley when he had that match. I mean, he was a Bill Goldberg. He was just, you know what I'm saying? He destroyed. Who did he fight again? I'm having a blank.
Seth Rollins. I saw that match.
Yeah, come on.
And I got to be honest with you. Match was very good. I was pretty impressed, and I think you're right about Lashley. I think that he still has good potential, even though he's kind of on the older side of a wrestler.
So was Bill Goldberg at that physique.
Bill Goldberg sucks. I don't want to hear about Bill Goldberg anymore.
But Lashley never reached that Goldberg or like that Lesnar level, I feel. You know what I mean?
No. Sorry.
But he did, Lesnar. He is on that different level, even if you don't like it.
No, Lesnar is on a way different level. Lesnar has more athletic ability in his pinky than Goldberg does in his whole body.
No love for Rocky, okay? No love
for Rocky. Cheap plug, that is the name of one of our episodes. Go check it out. But for me, if we're gonna go to me,
best to last.
Like I said, I talked to you guys in the beginning of the show about this, but I'm gonna have to lower this, and it is Mr. Brody Lee over here. Rest in peace. When he was Luke Harper, I always liked him, right? Particularly. There was a moment there that I thought that they were going to give him when he had like his matches with Randy Orton, and he was like kind of breaking away from the Wyatt family and had his like own like singles push, and then they put him in with the Bludgeon Brothers, which was fine, but there was a moment there where he was solo and he was doing so well for a big man to do the things that he was doing, and just performing on that level. It just goes to show you what he brought to the table. And then going to AEW and actually showing what he's really capable of, kind of, and I think we all saw that, with Brody, that he was a hell of a talent and could bring a lot to the table. And I loved him being part of the Dark Order in the beginning. And then when he passed away, they kind of dismantled the Dark Order. It's kind of nothing now in AEW, but yeah, man, I just think that Brody Lee was very underrated. And I don't know if I can think of anybody. Oh, another underrated talent, in my opinion, is Chad Gable. He has such an unbelievable strength for a little guy, but also reminds me so much of Kurt Angle, that I think that
great minds think
alike. That whole storyline that they had where Kurt Angle had a son, right? It should have been Chad.
That was good.
Because they're so similar. Like nothing against Jason Jordan, but they could have done so much more with Chad because it would have been more believable too. Sometimes it's just one of those things where they do all that, the son gimmick, right? Where like the story, like they did it with Vince McMahon one time with Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was supposed to be Ken Kennedy, from what I heard, but he got in trouble and fired eventually because I think Orton, politicked it and had him fired.
I don't like Orton
because he was unsafe. I like Orton.
No, I don't.
What, you don't like him?
No, I don't like him.
How do you not like a third generation? Oh, he's third generation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, third generation superstar.
You know what kind of I think acting Orton would have played in? He would have played in like soap operas.
You know who I hate?
Don't even say it.
I hate Goldberg. Truth is, I don't hate Goldberg. I just don't love Goldberg. So like, because hate is a strong word, right?
Yeah.
I just he's just he's a one-trick pony, like
Jay.
much.
Jay, I know who's next.
Cliff.
I'm gonna call my boy Brock Lesnar.
Anyway, the hell with Billy.
Okay, yeah. Now we can go over Joey's 2 cents. What do you got for us?
Just you guys ruined it on the chat. Who's the only 2 wrestlers?
You know that the listeners don't even know about our chat, right? You don't.
Hey, no, I'm talking about our chat.
Yeah, they don't know about our chat. You don't have to
For
mention.
$9.99 a month, you could be part of the chat.
Yeah, $9.99 a month.
We'll split it 3 ways. Who's the only 2 wrestlers to win the WWE, AEW, and ROH title?
Yo, Joey, why are you saying this question? We already answered this one.
Yeah, you did, but the listeners did.
I'm just playing with you.
Offending now. Here we go.
We'll end in that. We'll give the answer next week.
Next week? Why can't we get the answer now?
All right, because I'm being pressured.
I can tell you what the answer is.
We know you were the first to answer it. It didn't even go in the send button. You had the answer.
That's good for you, of course.
Yeah, well, you got to think. Okay, so if you're gonna do Q&A,
hard for Cliff next week.
You gotta make it real hard for me because I know a lot of history, man.
You're a smart guy. It's that ponytail.
It's the ponytail? Yeah, man, the ponytail. It gives me some type of surge. It's kind of like Undertaker in his urn, right? What's it called? Yeah, it's Jericho and CM Punk.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Great.
But Jericho just recently won the Ring of Honor champion.
He did.
Yeah. Good for him.
Oh well. He's a lost cause.
What, Jericho?
I thought he was a great wrestler, but his time is done.
So I was just looking quickly. Look at one of the news articles. You guys see that?
Cody Rhodes has the strength of an 11-year-old.
I'm gonna read it after because I'm just like, where did that even come from?
I gotta tell you, some of these I hate these some of these wrestling article like these because it's all clickbait, man.
Yeah.
Like I hate when they go, oh, this Hall of Famer has blocked people, and it's like you go in and it's like, oh, it's Teddy Long. He started blocking people on Twitter.
I was reading it on the way here. Yeah.
It's like clickbait. It's like,
yeah.
Tell me something more useful. Yeah. Nah, I don't know. But anyway, folks, I think this is going to wrap it up for episode 7. I hope it wasn't total chaos. What was that?
Cliff's got to eat breakfast.
Yeah, man, I'm freaking.
I think I hear my lunch outside. I hear the ghost talking.
Oh, the ghost is talking.
The voices are talking.
I'm gonna superimpose a picture of Joey in your window in the background.
I'm so in for it.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Take care, folks, and have a good one.
Have fun, guys.